Exercise number 2, heavy weightlifting with low reps. The second exercise that often does more harm than good for those over 60 is heavy weightlifting with low repetitions, the kind aimed at building raw strength through maximum effort. You've likely seen the appeal: fewer reps, heavier weights, and a promise of muscle maintenance as we age. And it's true, resistance training is crucial for bone density, metabolic health, and preserving independence. But the way we apply that resistance can make all the difference between protection and danger. The problem lies in the combination of high load and low repetition. When you're lifting heavy, pushing near your maximum effort, your blood pressure doesn't just rise, it spikes. For younger people, this brief spike is manageable. But for aging arteries, already stiffer and narrower, the sudden pressure can become a tipping point. It can trigger what's called a Valsalva effect, a moment when people hold their breath while straining. This not only limits oxygen, but dramatically increases intracranial and thoracic pressure. It's one of the least discussed dangers in senior fitness. In the moment, it might feel like progress. Your muscles are straining, your grip is firm, you're getting through it. But internally, your heart may be working overtime against a wall of pressure you don't even feel until later. This kind of stress can lead to arrhythmias, or even a rise in risk for stroke or heart attack, especially in those with undiagnosed hypertension. I've had patients otherwise healthy and active suffer episodes after an innocent few weeks of just trying to stay strong with heavy weights. The intention was right. The method was not. So what's the alternative? Lighter weights, more reps, and controlled breathing. Instead of loading up with a weight you can only lift 5 or 6 times, choose something you can manage for 12 to 15 repetitions. Focus on form, not force. Breathe steadily throughout, never holding your breath, never rushing through. Pair this with slow, deliberate movements. When you lift, don't just move the weight, control it. Feel the muscles work, maintain posture. Allow your body and your heart to work together, rather than compete against one another. Even bodyweight exercises done correctly can offer tremendous benefits without the internal strain of heavy lifting. Chair squats, modified push-ups, resistance bands, all effective, all safer. And here's the truth: strength isn't only about how much you lift. It's about how long you can keep living independently, walking with stability, standing tall, avoiding injury. Strength is balance, control, confidence, and movement. So the next time someone suggests pushing your limits with low-rep deadlifts or max weight presses, ask yourself, what's the goal? Because if your goal is a longer, healthier life, your method should match that vision. Train with wisdom, not ego. Lift with purpose, not pressure. We're not done yet. Let's talk about it next. Exercise number 3, hot yoga and overheated environments. Our third exercise may come as a surprise, not because it's extreme, but because it's often marketed as gentle, therapeutic, even spiritual. Hot yoga and any form of exercise performed in overheated environments. On the surface, it sounds ideal for seniors. Flexibility, mindfulness, low-impact movement, and yoga, in its traditional form, truly can be a life-changing practice for aging bodies. But once heat enters the equation, the story changes. You see, for people over 60, thermoregulation, your body's ability to manage internal temperature, begins to decline. You may not sweat as efficiently, your skin's blood vessels may not dilate as effectively. Your heart, then, must take on more of the burden. And in a heated room, often 90, 100, even 105 degrees Fahrenheit, that burden increases exponentially. As your body tries to cool down, your heart rate climbs, your blood vessels dilate, blood rushes to the skin, and as a result, blood pressure can drop, sometimes sharply. Combine that with poses that involve balance, breath holding, or sudden shifts in posture, and you have a risky mix: dizziness, dehydration, fainting, or in more serious cases, heat stroke or cardiac strain. Even people in their 30s have passed out in hot yoga studios. For someone in their 60s or 70 seconds with underlying cardiovascular issues, many of which are silent, the danger is even more real. I remember one patient in particular, a woman in her late 60s, physically active, no history of heart disease, who joined a Bikram-style class to improve flexibility. She felt lightheaded halfway through, but pushed through because the culture around these classes often encourages staying strong and working through discomfort. That night, she ended up in the emergency room with atrial fibrillation, a heart rhythm disorder triggered by dehydration and thermal stress, and yet, she hadn't even broken a sweat. That's the insidious thing about heat. It creeps up quietly. You may not feel distressed until your system is already overwhelmed. So what's the better path? Cool or room temperature yoga? Same poses, same breath, same benefits without the added strain. Look for classes specifically designed for seniors, where instructors understand the cardiovascular nuances of aging bodies. Slow flow, restorative, or chair-supported yoga all offer flexibility and balance without overtaxing your heart. Hydration is key too. Always bring water even for mild classes. And if you ever feel dizzy, lightheaded, or unusually tired during any kind of movement, that's not weakness. That's wisdom. Your body is asking you to slow down. It's tempting to believe that sweating more means you're doing more. But the truth is, heat stress is not the same as healthy stress. They may look similar on the outside, but the impact on your heart can be worlds apart. So, before stepping into that hot studio again, ask yourself, is this nourishing your heart, or simply pushing it to endure? The hidden risks of treadmill walking after 60. Walking is one of the best exercises for older adults. It's natural, low impact, and good for the heart. But when that walk happens on a treadmill, especially with an incline or without hand support, it can quietly become risky, especially for people over 60. Here's why. When you increase the incline, even a little, your heart has to work harder. It pumps faster. Your legs demand more oxygen. For someone younger, that's manageable. But for older adults, many of whom have stiffened arteries, high blood pressure, or slower recovery, it creates strain the body can't always handle. The effort doesn't feel dangerous at first, but over time, these repeated spikes in heart rate and pressure can add up, increasing your risk for dizziness, arrhythmias, or even heart-related events. There's another issue: balance. Unlike walking outdoors, treadmills don't give your body the same natural feedback. Your eyes don't scan the ground. Your muscles don't adjust to uneven surfaces. The machine moves for you, and your sense of balance gets less engaged. That disconnect can make it easier to lose your footing, especially if you're not holding onto the rails. And that's where many seniors go wrong. They're told to walk naturally and not use the handles. But letting go, especially on an incline, can lead to falls or stumbles. I've seen patients with hip fractures or broken wrists from one misstep on a treadmill. Even your posture can suffer. Many people lean too far forward while walking uphill. Others overcompensate by locking their knees. These habits strain your lower back, joints, and circulation over time. So, what's the better way? If you use a treadmill, keep the incline flat. Go at a pace that feels steady, not rushed. Use the handrails lightly for balance. It's not cheating, it's smart. And if you prefer more natural movement, consider walking indoors in long hallways, malls, or even around your home. The goal isn't to walk harder, it's to walk safer. Because your heart doesn't need to be pushed, it needs to be supported. Every step should serve your health, not test it. In the next part, we'll explore a group activity that looks fun and energizing, but for older adults, can quickly overwhelm both balance and heart rate.